we've all had some bad guy moments in this season of Dead City. I think the most fun I had in a bad guy moment we saw right kind of off the top when Negan kind of got to go back to who Negan was originally when we first met him a long time ago. And that was the bank scene where he gets to kind of make fun and be gory all at once. I miss that. I like the joy that Negan brings to those scenes because it's so off-putting that it's kind of amusing. And so to bring back Negan #1, I think was awesome. And it's been a long time. This whole redemption thing has been hard on me. so it's good to know we still have a little bit of Negan in there.
I think for me, you get to see it in the pilot, where I throw the bar owner to the walkers,
That was rough.
That was a bad guy moment.
Okay,
that
yeah.
was, you could put a little,
It was totally over the top.
but I try to work with her, I try to give her a chance, as I do, I think there are probably other instances where, in the world where I try to give people a chance, they kind of lie to me, they try to get over on me. And you got to lay down the law.
I'm just a guy who likes hog stew and my daughters eating in a bed,
Right.
eaten by zombies.
And throwing people to zombies.
He lives by law and order.
There you go. There you go.
I think my favorite moment, bad guy moment, is probably also in the pilot, which is the poor zipline guy.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's just this kind of amusement of watching him
breaking the record.
It's so nice, how clever, and just handing over the pliers, and boom, that's the end of him. I just think it's so indicative of who he is and where he is, and his Negan-esque joy and behavior like that.
Oh, I think he took it beyond anything Negan's ever done. But
You are like a pig in shit that there's people doing
I love what both these guys did so much. But yeah, that line when you say, I think that broke our record. I giggled so much. Yeah, it was great. And then Gaius' scene, I said something out loud, and everybody around us, I'm sure, heard me. But I was like, God, that's taking it a bit too far. It was a bit much.
It's not that it's my favorite bad guy moment, but it is because it's such a twist within the show. The ultimate misdirect of Maggie's is like, oh, it's so conflicted for me, and in the ways that make the story great. So I don't have a fun anecdote like these guys, but I have one that really was gut-wrenching and big and said so much about her and him and where the story is and can go that makes it my favorite for that reason.
You played that
I'm
all.
really serious.
By the way, you played that all season. You played
that all season,
you
and I'm
had
so glad the secret's out.
That twist all season, you got to play and knew about it. And,
Yeah. I know. I'm so
Maggie's bad news, man.
But here's what the people's perception at the end of that has been. There's been so many different perceptions of what it all means and where it's all going from here that that's been fun. But yeah, it's a relief, I have to be honest, to not have that as a secret anymore, for today at least, because I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what this can mean for the characters and for the show. But I'm so excited to see how everybody's storylines are teed up so nicely by the end of 6. It's like, even as a viewer, I was able to separate myself and say, in a really short space of time of having a new show, establishing a new world and having new characters, I want to know where everybody goes after this moment. And I think that to me is like a real feat. So I'm looking forward.
They've pushed each other around a little bit in the past, but it was kind of the first time that death could have happened. Yes. Certainly. I mean, we start off the season with a knife to Negan's throat, and we end the season with a knife to Negan's throat.
We've come so far.
And a delivery to...
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. You handed me over. Yeah. But we had a blast doing that scene, kind of running around up high, and we've talked about it a little bit before. but it was nice because the whole season, you know, the joy kind of been playing these characters for so long, but what we got to do with this show, besides introduce some really awesome new characters into this world, was we got to kind of dive into who Maggie and Negan are and the nuances of those characters that we never got to do before, even playing them for a decade. And how I think the season ends with Maggie and Negan. What can happen going forward is dreamy. Yeah, it's dreamy. Like, I'm excited. But I'm kind of fascinated with everybody. I think introducing the new character of Dama as well, played by Lisa Avery, the dynamic, her and Željko together, I think I could watch all day long. And Pearly, I just like Pearly hanging out by himself and doing his shit. So I think that it's all set up. It's there. It's there. Let's go.
Yeah.
Cool thing is that as the circumstances change, they constantly have to renegotiate these relationships, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to seeing, because it's one thing now, and then something shifts, and suddenly enemies are allies, and allies are enemies, and you're kind of trying to figure out how's it going to light up when things change.
I think all the characters are good at thinking on their feet. I mean, you see, all of them are smart. Every character, the characters that these the four of us get to play are very smart and are always trying to be a chess move ahead of whoever they're working opposite of. And so that's been kind of a fascinating deal too. The stuff that with Željko, I know that I don't know. You know what I mean? And Negan and him have this relationship goes back years. But I think they're both so kind of fascinated and enamored with each other in this really weird, sick way, that where that goes, I find fascinating, because I think the possibilities are rather endless.
Yeah, well, the arena fight was really cool because, you know, reading it, I'm like, okay, you know, a couple pages here, but I didn't realize it would take us like a week to shoot it, you know.
Welcome to The Walking Dead.
Clearly. And then the other thing was I didn't realize that most of the actors are doing their own stunts in the show, you know. So I'm you know, getting my coverage and like, okay, we got Stunt T coming in here. And it's like, no, you're in, man. You're doing great. It's like, oh, okay. So had to learn how to pace myself and all that. But it makes it even better because then they can just use that much more of the coverage. So, yeah.
Are we talking about the shoot? Are we talking about
The arena fight, yeah.
I remember walking onto the set. I think
you came in for rehearsal, yeah.
Rehearsal, and I'm like, wait, there's time to untie your shoe,
right.
And all this stuff with the steel-toed boot was friggin' awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I loved it too because it is really one of the most gruesome things in the show, and it's like welcome.
Yeah,
you know,
initiation.
Just that, yeah. The Walker King, because like a rat king, when a bunch of rats smell a Duan, and it's a lot. It was great. I mean, Ganja Ontero, who directed the episode, was, you know, so excited as I was for us to make our own little mini horror movie in that moment. And that whole episode has all these good tension builds, and then that was like, it's great. You know, it's Greg Nicotero and Addison and our whole KMVFX team that have been with us since the beginning, and we topped the top of the zombies that were done.
to see it was, you know, a guy in a costume and also four guys wearing all green suits doing puppeteer work. And I remember we saw the first cut of the trailer. And the puppeteers were still in it. The first cut we saw of the trailer, which was awesome to see. But how that thing came to life and the work that the special effects team put in, it was...
Because on the day it's so funny because everybody's in like their outfits and all is their eyes, but they're just like green puppet men. And they're all my friends, you know what I mean? And we're standing there and I'm like, it's horrifying and it's scary and you want to just do this and do this. And then it's like that, like if I was.
But you also want to giggle.
Yeah, you guys, it's so funny. It was so, and disgusting. Yeah.
The walker that got me last night was the walker that is on top of the kid. With the tongue that came out. I'm like, what the fuck is that
They
tongue?
added the tongue.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was
I
so
was
good.
like
It
that.
really gave me the-
I had not seen that tongue before.
There was a puppet guy doing the
I
tongue.
was
Addison,
where did that come from? So yeah, I guess the new walkers also have tongues that can work independently. Like
we are the barometer. If we're grossed out, then the audience will be. So,
It's amazing they can still keep coming up with stuff that is like shocking and amazing.
yes.